Hey everyone, it's Meg with Seed to Fork. It's September and that means back to school. It means the garden is absolutely grown out of control and my time is very short. So I am going to try a different format this month with my garden tour, and I hope it works out and I hope you enjoy. I'm going to show you the good, the bad, and the ugly because that's the stage we're at in the growing season at this point. And I always appreciate seeing people's diseased plants, and trust me, you're going to be in for a little treat here. There's lots going on, and so I'll do a fair bit of spinning the camera around and show you what's growing and what's doing great and what's, you know, on its way out. I hope you enjoy, and thanks for watching. Okay, I am at the far western end of the garden, over by the garage. I wanted to show you some of our fall crops. These I sowed back in August, end of August, with my kiddos. They're coming up. They're mostly watermelon radish, arugula, salad turnips, which are one of my favorites. They're just for me, no one else likes them. And then regular, like 30-day radishes, just quick radishes. The other thing down here, so we've got tons and tons of Brussels sprouts. See, my brain doesn't even work this time of year. The thing I wanted to show you is just how awful and diseased our little patch of winter squash is. And really at this point, I'm just leaving it, you guys. I'm letting it go. They're probably mature enough that I could go ahead and harvest them. It's just time. That's really the only reason I haven't done it yet. I think they got either powdery mildew or bacterial wilt or some kind of a combination of the two of them. But despite that, I've got some really, really beautiful, look at how gorgeous. I love this pumpkin. Look at that thing. It's got this beautiful, like white kind of netting on it. So pretty. We've actually got, despite all this disease, I've got a bumper crop of butternuts, which is our favorite winter squash. Got more than a half a dozen kabochas that we're gonna be able to eat. And then I've got like 2 different kinds of pie pumpkins and carving pumpkins. So I'm totally pleased. I grew delicata, but I only have 1. It's kind of funny. It's really funny if you knew me last year. So I hear my son coming home from school, so I'm gonna have to stop this. But these are my fall brassicas. Okay, so I wanted to show you a little bit of, I'm kind of lumping these in with the fall garden because I'm not harvesting them till the fall. And what I'm talking about are shelling beans. These are shelling beans. I did a couple of rows of what are called tiger's eye here, and they are ready. I mean, they're really ready. They're really ready to be harvested, all of them. And today would be a great day to do it. Just like my winter squash, I got too much going on to harvest them. It's gonna be okay if they get rained on again. If I have the energy, I'll pull them this weekend. We're having friends over. I am not above putting my friends to work in the garden, and they actually love it, especially the younger kids. So if it's not raining tomorrow afternoon, there's a really good chance I'm gonna have the kids pull these dried shelling beans and put them in a basket for me, and they probably would even shell them. My kids, you know, the newness has worn off on that one, so I'd probably be trying my luck if I tried to get them to shell these beads right now. I typically wait to shell them until I need them. So I actually have some black beans from last year that are still inside my dry root cellar because we haven't cooked with them yet. So they're obviously a great shelf-stable food. I actually love growing beans. I need to get better about bean recipes because I'm still trying to convince my family that growing beans is worth the space. I know, space isn't at a premium, but sometimes that's not the point. Okay, this is another bean I wanted to show you. This is called speckled cranberry, and it's really been a delight for me. I leap for joy every time I see these pods when I come out into the garden, and they have these beautiful, beautiful seeds. So these are the seeds. They are just this gorgeous, gorgeous maroon and white. Really beautiful. I absolutely love growing them. I'm gonna save some seeds so I can grow them again next year. They've just been a fantastic addition to the garden. They were bright pink flowers, beautiful mottled pink pods, and now these beautiful beans. It's a work of art all the way through. The whole life cycle has been just such a joy to watch. This is what I love about the garden. Okay, so I am in the actually totally opposite corner of where I was at the beginning with my winter squash and things like that. I'm up in the northeast corner now, and we've got an open grown apple tree, which is just out of sight for you. Let's see if I can turn it and show you. There's an open grown apple tree, and then I did 2 vertical gardens here this year to kind of do a little bit of a screen. And because we had the room, this is also a strawberry bed, so this is sort of a polyculture in our orchard here. I've got cantaloupes, and they're Halona variety from Johnny's Seeds. They are actually, seriously, that good. And I just noticed that I've got 1 or 2 more. I found this one yesterday. We had just a tiny split in it, and that's how I knew it was ripe. I see 2 more that are ripe, which is perfect because we're having people over tomorrow. So we will enjoy fresh melon with our friends. The other thing I have here is butternut. I have a ton of butternut. This is a second butternut planting. It's the same seeds. They were started at the same time. These were grown in a different part of the garden. And so what's interesting is this one does not have the same disease. The disease pressure has been much later. I think it's slowly starting to get these wilting diseases, but it's put on a crazy amount of butternut, so I cannot wait because there are several delicious butternut recipes that we love to make in the winter, and butternut store really well. So that's gonna be we'll probably do a butternut dish once a week until like April and not run out. It's amazing. So anyway, the other thing I wanna show you back here, I am probably gonna turn the camera around, but my tomatoes, they don't look that bad from there, but you just wait, they're pretty bad. Okay, it's time to talk about my tomatoes, which, like pretty much everyone else's tomatoes in September, get very diseased and look kind of sad. I really need to come in and prune this because we don't have a frost in the forecast. They're a bit diseased, and I want them to hang on as long as possible. I'm still getting a lot of ripe tomatoes several times a week, and I want that to continue as long as possible. It's been a good 3 months of tomatoes here so far, and I like it to be as long as we can get it until first frost. So the biggest thing that happened in our tomato garden this year, a couple things. The first thing was we had Anthracnose for the first time, and that is a fungal pathogen that is soil borne, but the spores infect the fruiting bodies. It's a total bummer. It lays dormant in your soil for up to 4 years. Crop rotation is really important. It can impact any plant in the Solanaceae family, so that includes potatoes, peppers, and to a much lesser degree, eggplants. I haven't noticed it on our potatoes, but our peppers are getting it in several spots, which leads me to conclude that probably the compost we brought in this year had the fungal disease in it. It is what it is. So I'm already thinking about what we can do next year to minimize any kind of soil splashing up on our plants. I'm gonna keep growing tomatoes. They're gonna be in a different bed. So are the peppers. So that is what it is. The other thing I did, I grew about 25 plants, 26 if you include what we grew up on our deck. I grew, I think, 10 cherries. That was maybe 5 too many. And one of my plants I thought was a a slicer. I thought it was pink Berkeley tie-dye. It ended up being gold berries. I must have mixed the seeds up. So we had even extra cherry tomatoes than I had planned. But I haven't been super happy with a bunch of the new cherries we've grown, so I'm gonna have to go back to the drawing board next year and maybe grow 4 or 5, and definitely at least 2 of them will be sun golds. I think we have 3 sun golds this year, which was great. So I guess I should do 3 again. Anyway, so I'm in kind of maintenance mode with this. I am needing to clip back all of the dead diseased foliage, and I really should prune off the flowers that are still forming. Like, see this? I don't want these. Those are flowers. So this is another one of these things that is a time constraint. You've seen a couple of other things that maintenance that needs to happen. I'm gonna get to this. This actually feels more important to me than mowing my paths, and then even pulling my squash. So I'm hoping, the weather's not great today, but I am hoping that I can get to it before it rains. So tomato gardens are what they are this time of year. This is what mine looks like. I think it's great to see what they look like because, oh, it's ugly, but still producing. I see people sharing this all the time, and I think it's great to share. Tomatoes I find really kind of tricky to grow. We've had a great year all in all though, so I really can't complain. Well, thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna close out this garden tour with a little spin around my cut flowers, which are both in and outside of the garden bed. They're all over the place, wherever I can squeeze my zinnia in, and some other of my favorite cut flowers, which I don't actually cut very often. I just enjoy them in the garden, and that's why I wanted to share them with you. So please feel free to get in touch. If you have any questions, leave a comment here, subscribe. I'm really easy to get a hold of on Instagram, and I'd love to hear from you. I hope you have a great month in the garden, and thanks again for watching.